Hey, today we will just be going over how to rewrite equations in function form. Uh, it will look something like this. Turning y into a function, f is a function from 0 to 10 that maps onto all real numbers, and f of x is 4x plus 2. Now, at first, it seems like a whole bunch of gibberish, but I'll quickly make a template for you of what you actually need to put in. There's only two slots you need to fill: the domain and the function itself, or in other words, the equation is probably a better way to say it. Now, what basically this function is saying is this f is saying it's a function. And well, it's saying this function exists from this point to this point. So if we take this, for example, this function we're creating, we know it's a function from this f, goes from 0 to 10. Oh, this has to be curve. And it maps onto all real numbers. F of x is the name of the function, or like how the notation. You may do f dash if it's a derivative, and this is the function itself. So this may change. So for example, you can call it G, call it H. Most of the time, it should be F, but the letter doesn't matter too much. Now, the domain is probably the weirdest part. So if we had a look at A, B, C, and D on the left here, the domain here is 0 to 10, curve brackets. The domain here, you can either say negative infinity or infinity, or R. Here you can say negative 2 to infinity. And here it's everything except 0. So you can either do this, that means it's everything except 0, or you could do negative infinity to 0, union 0 to infinity. So you normally want to pick the one that's nicer. So I'll do these two, and then you can do the rest. Let me put the template here. Now, let's do the first part for each. 0 to 10. Arrow. Yeah. All the numbers except 0. Arrow. Now, the next part is this R. This R does not stand for a range. We don't actually care about the range, and in this notation at least. So in methods, all you'll deal with is this R. So you just chuck in R. Don't put any thought behind it, really. They may have that, you know what, they won't. Just put the R there always. And this is the hardest part done. Next is just write out the function. And this one, you will be fine. You don't need any help. Good. I will admit this part is the most confusing. All they're asking for is the domain. Now, that should solve everything. Now, for those who are interested, what this R is saying is whatever is in this domain, any possible thing it could be, it'll always be a real number. So these are, if you imagine a subset, so if you have a domain as your input, and then you have your function as a little machine, and it spits out your range. the range of a specific function is the subset of all real numbers. And that's what this is. So the range must fit inside of this set, basically. You won't need to know too much about that, but if you're interested, that's what this R is stating. So if you're doing specialist maths, you may have complex numbers, numbers that are imaginary, but that's not required for methods at the moment. But have a go at these other functions, and this notation stuff, it's kind of you get it or you don't. As in, once you learn it, you'll be like, oh, that makes so much more sense. And it makes reading questions much easier once you know. But teachers tend to forget to actually teach this part. Anyways, thanks again for watching.